Good evening, everybody. A little late tonight, but I thought I'd get one more exciting action, get one more thing going in here. This is Robert from RJL 518, welcoming you here to a test game of APBA Baseball. I did pick up the basic game with the Master Edition, and I've decided to try there are only 4 teams that come with it: the Astros, the 2019 Astros, Yankees, Nationals, and Cardinals. I've decided to play a test game, basic APBA only, this first time, here at Yankee Stadium, featuring the 2019 Houston Astros against the 2019 New York Yankees. It will be Justin Verlander versus James Paxton, and the lineups I'm using are the recommended lineups from APBA from their 2019 score sheet, or lineup sheet, I should say. I have the APBA book right here, and it's going here on one of my, actually the top of my trash can, I guess I should say, but I have the score book ready to go to see if we can play APBA. And Philip Reynolds is with me here to watch me, and so I'm going to play a little bit. If anybody sees something I'm doing wrong, please let me know. It took me a little while for me to get used to inside pitch. Now I can move inside pitch very quickly, and payoff pitch the same way, but I don't know how long APBA. APBA, I know, is pretty much simple. Roll the dice, and it's done. Now, of course, I've already been told that in order to be, excuse me, right back here, in order to become a real APBA player, I have to use the shaker and the dice that come with the game. First of all, one of my subs said the shaker was not yellow. He says it's supposed to be yellow, and it's not yellow. And he says I should throw this away, or not throw it away, but paint it yellow to make sure I'm an actual APBA player. He also says if I do not use the shaker or anything like that, or the field that it came with, I am not a true APBA player, and it's sacrilege. And he's probably right. However, I don't like the size of the dice. They're too small. I prefer larger dice that you guys can see. I prefer my dice tower than rolling. And that's where we're going to still use my dice tower. I noticed the thing about it is there's no ballpark cards. I know there are some ballpark charts available depending on the ballparks. Although I rarely see anybody play APBA with the ballpark chart or something like that. I mean, depending on where they're at. This game's gonna be played in Yankee Stadium. I'm using I do have a logo of the current 2019 Astros logo, but I'd have to open up one of my other sets. I decided not to do that, so I just picked out. I'll grab the 70s Astro logos, my inside pitch set, so at least you got something to see the score on. So, there's no ballparks or anything like that I have to worry about. At least in basic game, I just pretty much roll and decide, and the dice tell me what to do. I got the lineups. The Houston Astros will be utilizing fielding 1. The Yankees will be using fielding 2. So, I guess we're going to see how this works. I do know that even though I usually bring the pitchers up to who's on the mound and whatever. And in this game, I noticed I really don't need to do that because everything is run off the batter's card. The pitcher card doesn't really mean much, all right, unless, of course, I'm looking for modifiers or something. So whoever here is in the chat, please bear with me as we're going to try a little APBA. James Paxton is going to pitch for the Yankees. He was 15-6 in 2019. He is a grade B pitcher, and he is has an X modifier. He is also known as the Big Maple. So let's see how this works. Leading off for the Houston Astros will be George Springer, and you got to list him as outfielder. I don't know why they just list him as outfielder. That means you can pretty much put him anywhere you want. I'm not really a fan about that, but okay, fine. So he's outfielder, and I have him in center field for this game. Lucas McCain joins me here at Yankee Stadium. My friend, you play at your liking. I know, we'll see how it works, but I want to make sure I play it right. It's one thing to play it to my liking, and it's another thing to play it right. So let's see what we got here. We roll a 66 on George Springer, and that I already know. The first ever roll I roll in APBA, even though it's a test game, is a home run. A home run over the right field fence. The first thing I roll is a homer for George Springer. How about that? What does that tell you? A home run for Springer, 1-0. That I already know is a homer. On a 66, the first ever roll is a home run. That's wacky. Next batter is Jose Altuve. He is at second base for this game. 54, that is a 32, and that is Yankees are fielding 2. 32, that is a fielding 2. He does not have a K, so that's just going to be a fly out to right field. There's one out. Oh, I guess I should have my out chart here. I'll use my payoff pitch out chart. My inside pitch out chart. Here is Alex Bregman. He is at third base today. Basic APBA, you can't go too far wrong, as Daniel Patani joins me here. Let's see, 32 for Bregman. That's a 26, fielding 2, and that is going to be a ground out, second to first, 2 down. And now the batter is left fielder Michael Brantley. Straight basic APBA. No, not even using any of the advanced rules. Straight basic APBA. 63, that is a 31, and that is also going to be a fly out to center field, and that will end the inning. Fly out to center. So a run for the Astros on 1 hit. As Philip Reynolds says, beginner's luck, and it's 1-0 Astros. We go to the bottom of the first. Pitching for the Astros will be Justin Verlander, grade A pitcher, K and Z modifiers. And he is a right-hander. Leading off for the Yankees will be second baseman DJ LeMahieu. And these are just the pretty much the recommended lineup from the APBA board. APBA lineup chart, I should say. LeMahieu, 1-5. That is a 10. And against a grade A pitcher, that is going to be a single to center. LeMahieu gets a base hit. Leads off with a single, and the next batter will be, I believe that is right fielder Aaron Judge with LeMahieu on at first. The pitch is a 40, and I guess we're going to go to the and run on first base. 45, that is a 14, and I believe that is a base on ball, a fielding 1. Base on balls, runner to second, batter to first. But Verlander has a Z modifier, so that's just 2 balls and no strikes, so it gets to roll again. Now a 24, and that is a 13, and that is going to be a strikeout. 1 down as Judge strikes out by Verlander. Michael Peterson says hello. My first APBA test game. Now the batter is Luke Voit with LeMahieu on at first and 1 out. 62, that is a 13. That is going to be another strikeout for Verlander. 2 down. And now Gary Sanchez, the catcher. Verlander, 60. Let's see, Sanchez, 64. That's a 13, and that is going to be a strikeout. So Justin Verlander strikes out the side after allowing a leadoff base hit, and it stays 1-0 Stros. Remember, if you see anything that I'm missing, let me know. Of course, that's the one thing I've noticed about the game. It's all chart-driven. Whatever the chart says is what happens. And we're using just basic APBA specifically basic APBA. Nothing, no rating degrades, no nothing like that. This is first basic APBA. And the next game I'll play will probably have a little advanced, and the game maybe after that I will try the Master Edition. I've actually already been practicing with the Master Edition, actually. Clunky, yes, but doable. Now, I've heard about the Merino boards. Someone's going to go ahead and email me those Merino boards, but we'll see what we do here. Top of the second, Paxton will pitch to Yordan Alvarez. He is the designated hitter. Let's see, 52-13. Paxton has an X. I believe he will strike, and he will strike him out. Fielding 2. Yep, that's a strikeout. Strikes out Alvarez, 1 down. Here is Carlos Correa. 44. That is an 8. Paxton's a grade B pitcher, and that is going to be a ground ball to third base, and the throw goes to first for out number 2. That would have been a hit against a grade C or a grade B, but a grade D, but a grade B pitcher does the job. Here is Yuli Gurriel with 2 outs. 24-13, that's a strikeout. And a 1-2-3 inning for Paxton. So as I said, I know I'm going to get yelled at for using my dice tower and not the shaker, but I prefer the dice tower, and the I'd rather have you guys see it on here. Tomorrow I'll be reading Payoff Pitch DH. I'm reading rules, understanding it. Take your time with it. Payoff Pitch is actually pretty simple as well. It really is. Leading off for the Yankees in the bottom of the second will be Gleyber Torres. 34. That is a 31 on a fielding 1, and that's going to be a fly out to center. Next batter is Edwin Encarnacion. 42. That's a strikeout, 13. As Verlander already has 4 strikeouts in this game. A lot of people don't like the card quality of APBA. You know what? It's about the same quality, maybe a little tougher than, maybe a little thinner than the inside pitch quality, but I don't mind it, and I actually have no problem reading it. Here's Giovanni Urshela. You'll be a brave man attempting the master game. I've had people tell me as soon as they get it done, the really thing is you just got to really, you really got to make a copy of the fielding chart in the back. Once you do that, the game actually flows. 53, and that is a 20 on a fielding 1, and that's going to be a out at first. That is a 20. Actually, no, I'm sorry. That's a 20. That's going to be an error, I think. Let me see. 53. That's a 20 with bases empty. He's first on an error. Urshela gets the first on an error. That is an error on the second baseman. So that's an E4. Urshela gets the first base on an error. That's the first error on the Astros. Here is Michael Tauchman. He is the left fielder for this game. Bears Den 007 joins me here. So runner on first. 115, that is a 10. And Verlander is a grade A pitcher, and that's going to be a single to right center. Runner to third. Batter steals second on second pitch. 2 strikes on batter. So let's see. So that is a single to right center. Runner to third. Tauchman on at first. And batter steals second on second pitch. 2 strikes on batter. So that means that Gardner is the batter. Tauchman steals second base, I guess by following the rule there. 2 strikes on the batter. So Tauchman gets a base hit. Urshela to third. And then Tauchman steals second base. And now Gardner has 2 strikes on him. Still with 2 outs. Very pleased that Ing finally became a GM. Yes, as a Marlins fan, also, I'm a big, you know me, a Mets fan number one, but as a Marlins fan, I was very, very proud to hear that. And she is going to do a fine job here. Runners at second and third. Now the pitch to Gardner with 2 strikes. 31, that is a 14, and that's going to be a base. Let's see here. Runners at, we got runners at second and third. I got to remember to move the charts. Runners second and third, the 14, that is a base on balls, filling the bases. Bases loaded for DJ LeMahieu with 2 outs. I keep on, I roll the dice. I keep on wanting to look at the pitcher card first to see if I got to do anything. I realize, and they say, oh, wait a minute. I just look at the batter card. That's it. 64, that is a 36. And it's a wild pitch. Runners advance 1 base. Verlander, wild pitch. Runners advance 1 base. Ouch. So Urshela will come in. Tauchman and Gardner will move. And now it's 1-1. As Verlander threw it back to the screen. Now runners at second and third with LeMahieu still at the plate. LeMahieu, 51. That is an 8. And a grade A pitcher. That is going to be a single over first. Runners score. Single over first, runners score. So that means that single over first. So LeMahieu is on first. Tauchman will score from third. Gardner is a fast runner, and I believe he will score from second. Let's see. Slow runner on second out at home. But no, runners score. Okay, so and Gardner's a fast runner. He's not a slow runner. So 2 runs will come in, and now the Yankees lead it 3-1. As DJ LeMahieu gets his second hit of the game. Next up is Aaron Judge. Still 2 outs. Now we go back to runner on first. As I look at my chart, that is a 54, 32, fielding 1, and that is a fly out. That is a fly out to right field, and the side is retired. The Yankees get 3 runs on 2 hits, an error, and a wild pitch, and at the end of 2, the Yankees are leading 3-1 here. Okay. Yep, the 4 playoff teams is all I got in the basic. I have not decided how I'm going to do seasons yet, but first I want to see if I can play this game before I decide to spend any more money on seasons. And I will tell you this, if I do decide to go APBA as well, I will get every one of their seasons, and they go all the way back to 1901. Actually, 1883 is the earliest, but I would not get that. I'm not interested in baseball before that time. 1901 is actually considered by many the start of actual Major League Baseball, if I do it. Some of their seasons are very expensive, including if you get extra players, which I would do. We'll see what I do here. I'm still trying. I'm not done collecting all my. I'm not done with my all collecting series of Inside Pitch. I still got Inside Pitch seasons coming in. So we'll see what we do here. World Series sets are cheap. Yeah, but I like playing everybody. You never know when you want to play a certain game from a season back then. Top of the third, Robinson Chirinos, the catcher for Houston, will lead off here against Paxton. 32-26, and the Yankees are a fielding 2 team. 26, and that is a 26, and that's a ground out to second. And I want to thank Appa Brian, if he ever watches this. It's all his fault that I decided to give APBA a crack. Here is Josh Reddick. 41. That's a 24, and that is going to be a ground out to short. And if Paxton had a K, it'd be a strikeout instead, but he doesn't. I got to make sure I read the parentheses concerning the pitchers who's on the mound. Here is George Springer. They're bat. What these are? Their bat. These are if they come to bat. The one thing about APBA, they still give pitchers a bat. Sure, blame someone else. It is. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. It's all his fault. Al Red Sox fan. Okay, watching him roll. And then watching CP Cards and Dice made me want to get, and then ID Jester made me want to get Payoff Pitch. Watching David Baseball Demos, he made me get Inside Pitch. Now APBA Brian, now I'm trying APBA. It's everybody else's fault. It's not mine. I am totally blameless in everything that's going on here. And of course, Glory Days Boxing, that's all. That is the fault of Anthony at Bleacher Bums Gaming. And of course, History Maker Golf, that is Earl at Tabletop Baseball Plus's fault. It's their fault. I have nothing to do with it. None of it's my fault. I'm blameless here. Pitch to Springer. 23, that is a 12. And against the grade B pitcher, that is going to be a ground out to third base, and he throws to first, and that's the inning. So James Paxton goes 1, 2, 3. And nothing for Houston. Bottom of the third coming up, then you blame me for Nope, can't blame me for anything. Sorry. Can't blame me for anything. Nope, sorry guys. You know, if you're watching my channels and you decide maybe you want to take a chance, that's all you. That's on you. That's not me. Sorry, no, can't. I don't take the blame there. Sorry, yeah, no, it's not my fault. I take no responsibility. Luke Voigt will bat against Verlander, bottom of the third. Voigt, 65. That is a 35 fielding one, and that is a ground out to first. One down. Here is Gary Sanchez. 45. That is a 14, and that is going to be Verlander has a Z modifier, so that's only going to be 2 balls and no strikes. Sanchez, 54. That is a 32, and that is a fly out to right. That's out number 2. And the batter is Gleyber Torres. 31, that is a 9 against the grade A pitcher, and that's going to be a ground out to short, and he will throw to first and get the out. And that is a 1, 2, 3 inning. Now I've got a question. Verlander has a Z modifier. Is the Z modifier and is the Z and the ZZ modifiers, are they pretty much the same? So if a pitcher, because I was watching APBA Brian on walks, and if a pitcher has a ZZ modifier, but the rule book says a Z modifier, not a ZZ modifier, does that make a difference? Does that mean that the Z modifier is the same as a ZZ, or is a ZZ the same as a Z? I know that just made absolutely no sense at all, but, what am I going to do here? Let's see, top of the fourth. Yankees leading 3-1. Here's Paxton, and it will be Jose Altuve leading off for the Astros. 4-6, 46, that's a 13, and that I know, that's a 13, and that I know is a strikeout. Altuve goes down for out number 1. Z and ZZ are different. It's like X and Y. Okay, ZZ has better control. All right. So in that case, then I've been doing the balls a little wrong. So I'll do it now. I'll try it next time. Here's Alex Bregman. 54. That's a 32. Fielding 2. That is a fly out to right field. He has an X on his modifier, but that X for K. If he had a K modifier, that'd be a strikeout. So that's a fly out to right. For out number 2. And now Michael Brantley. 41, that's a 24. And that's going to be a ground out to short. And the throw goes to first for the out. And a 1-2-3 inning again for the Astros. So since giving up the home run, Paxton hasn't done anything bad since then. Bottom of the fourth, still 3-1. Here is Edwin Encarnacion. As I said, we're not using any advanced rules, no degrading of the pitcher grade or anything like that. I just want to play a game and just see how well we can learn it here and how quickly we can go. When does the pitcher card come into play? It doesn't. I mean, really, it doesn't. It really doesn't. The only thing you take off the pitcher, at least in the basic APBA, the only thing you got to worry about is these modifiers right here and the grade and the speed and his fielding rating, and that's it. Pretty much. That's pretty much what you do there for that. So, that's all you use. These symbols up here are used in the master game and down here. Let's see. Edwin Encarnacion, 52. That's a 27. And and Verlander that is a ground out to third. 1 out. Yeah, the pitcher card adjusts walks and strikes pretty much, as I've learned. Here's Giovanni Urshela. Verlander, 42. That is a 22. And that is a ground out to first. And now Mike Tauchman. That is a 21. That's a 13, and Verlander will strike him out. It's usually, I do know 13s and 14s are usually strikeouts and walks. Still 3-1 Yankees at the end of 4. I mean, there is a fatigue thing in advanced rules where the pitcher grade goes down after they give up a certain amount of runs. But the thing about it is that the pitcher card is just there just to get the modifiers. That's it. Pretty much all the pitcher card does is modifiers. Here's Yordan Alvarez, top of the 5th. Pitchers are more likely to get hits in APBA versus Strat. Yes. There are a few hit columns on there, a few hit rolls on there. 15, 1-5. That is an 8 for Alvarez, and he is a grade B pitcher, and that is going to be a fly out to center field. 1 out. Here is Carlos Correa. 55, that's an 8 as well, and that's going to be a fly out to center field also. 2 down. Watching CP Cards and Dice play and APBA Brian play, they pretty much memorized the chart book, so they go through like so quick. Gurriel. 66. That is going to be a 1, and that is going to be a home run. That is the 1 right there, and it is gone. Yulieski Gurriel hits a home run. He smacks one out of here. Solo shot for Gurriel, now 3-2. Or as APBA Brian would say, or as APBA Brian says, it's a long drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. That's for APBA Bryant. Robinson Chirinos. That is a 42. That's a 38 against the grade, against fielding 2, 38. And that is a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Chirinos 36, 14. And that is going to be a walk. That is going to be a walk by Paxton. So Chirinos goes to first. And here is Josh Reddick. Is there a card for the trash can? Might be one in here somewhere. I looked all over for a trash can card in the Astros team, and I have not been able to find it. Although it could be cloaked. I don't know. Runner on first base. We flip the chart book. Let's see what we got here. That is a 33 for Reddick, and that is a 0. I know that is a hit column roll, so I roll again. And that is a 25. And that is a 1. And I do know when you roll in the hit column roll, you roll all the way in a grade D pitcher. So that is a 25. And that is a 1. And it might be, it could be, it is out of here. William Josh Reddick goes ahead and hits a 2-run home run. The trash cans are banging as Reddick hits a 2-run jack. And the Astros now lead it 4-3. Here is George Springer. And all these runs have come with 2 outs. You wonder maybe if this is the Los Angeles Dodgers I'm playing, not the Houston Astros. Remember that World Series we just had? Did you see how many runs the Dodgers got while they had 2 outs? Let's see, Springer 46. That is a 13, and that will be a strikeout. Springer goes down. So 3 runs on 2 hits for Houston, both home runs. They now lead 4-3 going into the bottom of the 5th. Here comes Verlander. I have already decided that once I learn all the rules and such for basic and master game, I've already decided that if I was to do a season with APBA, it would be basic all the way with some of the advanced rules for the regular season. Master edition would be for the playoffs. Here's Brett Gardner. That is a 34, and that is a 31, and that is going to be a fly out to center field. As Gardner goes down, here is DJ LeMahieu. He is 2 for 2. 65, that's a 35. And that is going to be a ground out to first. 2 down. First time he's out today. And now here is the judge. 51. That is a 9, and Verlander is an A. That is a 9, and that's going to be a ground out to shortstop, and he will throw to first to get the final out. One, 2, 3 inning for the Yankees, and it's still 4-3 Astros going into the top of the 6th. As I said, I'm not using fatigue in this basic game, but I will take Paxton out if he gives up another run. Here is Jose Altuve. No Judge Homies yet. That is Altuve. That is an 11. It's a deep drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. Altuve gets a home run off of Paxton. Solo jack for Altuve. And it is now 5-3 Astros. The batter is Alex Bregman. That'll be it for Paxton. He's done. So we'll go to the bench. We'll go to the pen. And let's see who will bring in. And they will bring in Tommy Conley. He is a grade B pitcher, relief. Conley has a K modifier, so he can get strikeouts. So here's Alex Bregman. Nobody out still in the top of the sixth. That is a 40. That is a 46. That's a 13. And Conley will go ahead and strike him out. One out. Here is Michael Brantley. It's a one. It's a double. It's a high drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. Michael Brantley hits a home run. He smacks one out of here, and it is now 6-3. As Brantley joins the hit parade, and here is Jordan Alvarez, as Philip Reynolds is now keeping track of the homers. 55, that's an 8. Conley is a B pitcher, and that's going to be a fly out to center field. And now Carlos Correa. 66, that is a deep drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here. Home run for Carlos Correa. Now 7-3 Astros. As Correa sends that one out of here. Now it's 6 = 7. Yep. And now here is Yulesky Gurriel. And he hit a home run earlier. 2 outs. Conley will pitch. 62. That's a 13. That is a strikeout. So here's how that inning went. Home run, strikeout, home run, fly out, home run, strikeout. So 3 runs on 3 home runs, and it's now 7-3 Astros as the trash can banging has been doing very well. Time to send out for a new can. Yep. I'll take Conley out. He's not going to pitch the next inning. Verlander will, however. Leading off for the Yankees will be Voit. So far, every run has been scored on a home run except for the Yankees. Tauchman got a base hit, which did score Urshela. None of the home. Actually, all 3 of the Yankee hits were done by base hits. The Yankees haven't hit any home runs. The Astros have 6 home runs in this game. Here's Voit. 1-5. That is an 8, and that will be a pop out to third. 1 down. As Verlander's grade A pitching rating helps that. Here is Gary Sanchez. 64. That's a 13, and that is a strikeout. He did have 300 strikeouts that year, so I'm not surprised. He did have 300 strikeouts in 2019. Verlander. Now Torres. 1-5, that is an 8, and that will be a pop fly out to third as well. Pop out to third. And that's a 1-2-3 inning go of the Yankees, and it stays 7-3 Astros. Bigger dice equals juice ball. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe the dice are juiced. I have no idea. I just don't like the small dice. I want big dice so you guys can see it. Let's see. Top of the 7th inning. Robinson Chirinos. I'll bring in a new pitcher for the Yankees, and that will be Adam Ottavino. He's a grade A and C. A grade A and C pitcher. And I still have not gotten to with a grade A and C. So if a pitcher is a grade A and a C pitcher, which value do I use? I've been trying to figure that out in the rule book, and it's not been clear. Treat them as grade A pitchers unless the grade A pitcher column results in a hit. When that happens, use the grade B pitcher or grade C pitcher column instead. So if the grade A column results in a hit, I then use the grade C column instead. Is there really a difference? Yeah, there could be a difference. There can be a difference if I do that. Okay. Let's try it out. Robinson Chirinos. Top of the 7th, 7-3 Astros. Chirinos 26. That's a 13, and that is going to be a strikeout. Chirinos goes down by Ottavino. And the batter is Josh Reddick. 61. That is a 30. And that is a fly out to left field. Ottavino has X, Y, and W modifiers. That's a fly out to left for out number 2. And now George Springer. A and C pitchers are studs. 1-5. That is a 10 for Springer. And that is a single to center. But now if I follow the rule and go to a C pitcher, it still says a single to center. So it is a single to center for Springer. So grade A pitcher on a 10 says single to center, and grade C pitcher on a 10 says single to center. So I think I get that. All right. Springer on it first. Here is Altuve with 2 outs. 34, that is a 31. And that is going to be a fly out to center field and end the inning. No runs. There was a hit. We go to the bottom of the 7th, 7-3 Astros in this APBA test game. Verlander will pitch. He has a 4-run lead. He might as well. Edwin Encarnacion will bat. That is a 35. That is a 37. And a 37 is a strike. And so 1 strike, no balls and a strike. We roll. Encarnacion 1-4. That is a 30. And that is a fly out to left field. 1 out. Giovanni Urshela for the Yankees. 44. That is a 7 on a grade A pitcher, and that is a single to right. Urshela will go to first. Next batter is Mike Tauchman. .51. That is a 9, and that is going to be a single. Beats out infield hit. Runner to second. So Tauchman beats out an infield hit. Urshela goes to second, and now the Yankees are in a little bit of business. The batter is Brett Gardner. So now we'll see if Verlander can maybe get out of this little jam. Pitch from Gardner, 56. That is a 13, and that is going to be 13, and that is going to be a strikeout. 2 down. Verlander strikes out Gardner. Same spot in the lineup you had problems before. Yep. And here's DJ LeMahieu with 2 outs, runners at first and second. That is a 36. It's a 33. And that is an infield fly ball, fly out, popped up, infield fly to the shortstop. And that will be Correa making the catch. So it's a pop out to short, and the inning is over. No runs, 2 hits for the Yankees. Astros still leading 7-3 in this test game here. Go to the top of the 8th inning now. Ottavino will stay out there, and he will be pitching to Bregman. That is a 1-2. That is a 25. And, of course, I always got to make sure I go back to the beginning here. The base is empty. Let's see. What is a 25, fielding 2. And that is a ground out to second for out number 1. Next up is Brantley. Ottavino with the pitch. 62. That is a 13. That is going to be a strikeout. For Ottavino, 2 down. And now Yordan Alvarez. He is 0 for 3. 21. That's a 13, and Alvarez will strike out. 1-2-3 inning for the Astros. Still 7-3 in their favor. Going to the bottom of the 8th. This will be Verlander's. Probably, I don't know. I'll see if Verlander can go the complete game. 7-3. Aaron Judge leads off for the Yankees. Always got to flip your charts to the right spot. Yep, that's the one thing I do have to learn. It's not like my cards have everything on them. I got to use the charts. 56. 13, that's a strikeout. He gets Judge. Next batter is Voit. The one thing I do like about the new APBA cards, all the stats and everything on there, I've seen people play with the basic APBA cards, those ones that have nothing on them. I would never get those. I would buy everything from APBA if I did. 66. That's a deep drive. It might be. It could be. As APBA Brian would say, it is out of here. Luke Voit gets a solo home run. First home run over Verlander. And now 7-4. The batter will be Gary Sanchez. First Yankee homie. Sanchez, 24. That's a 13, and that is a strikeout. Verlander's had 300 strikeouts. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got 9 in this game. That's believable. That's believable. Sure. 2 men down. Here is Gleyber Torres. 34. That's a 31. And that is going to be a fly out to center field. 1 run for the Yankees on 1 hit. It is 7-4 Astros. At the end of 8, we'll go to the top of the 9th. Ottavino's going to come out. I don't think he would go more than 2 innings anyway, so we'll bring in a new pitcher for the Yankees. And they'll bring in their closer, Zach Britton. Although it's really not their closer, but he's one of their better pitchers. Grade A and C pitcher, Y and W modifiers. So which means the W means it's a little wild. Top of the ninth inning here is Correa. 35. That's a 23 in a fielding 2, and that is going to be a first on an error. That's going to be an error on the center fielder. And Correa will be first. We'll save it first. That is another error that's a first error on the Yankees. So that is an E8. Yankee error. Steeler fan 1933 joins me here as we're trying an APBA test. Here is Yulesky Gurriel. And yes, you can see your Astros are leading 7-4. This is the 2019 Astros against the 2019 Yankees. I have the 2019 Astro logo. I just didn't want to go get it. I have to take it out of my series, one of my seasons that are sealed. Let's see. Base runner on first. Britton pitching to Gurriel. 46. That's a 27. And that is going to be batter safe at first, fielder's choice. Runner out at second. So Correa is out. Gurriel is safe. 1 out on a fielder's choice. Here is Robinson Chirinos. Bears Den 007 joins me here. That is a 5 for Chirinos, and Britton is an A. And we go to, that is a 5 for Chirinos, so it's a 5. It goes from a grade A. We then go to a grade C, and that ball is head deep. It might be, it could be, it is out of here, as APBA Brian would say. That's a 2-run jack for Chirinos. And all the Astros do is hit home runs. 2-run jack by Chirinos. And it is now 9-4. And here is Josh Reddick. Still only one out in the inning. .54 on Reddick's card. That is a 32. And that is a fly out to right. And finally, now George Springer. That is a 1-4. That is a 30. And that's a fly out to left. So 2 runs for the Astros on 1 hit, an error. And the Astros lead it 9-4 here going in the bottom of the 9th. Justin Verlander will try to complete the game, might as well. I'm only using basic APBA. Edwin Encarnacion will bat the DH. Yep, late night baseball. Very late night baseball. This is just an APBA test. That is a 23 and a 12 for Encarnacion. And that's going to be a ground out to third base. 1 out. As Verlander, he gave up 4 runs, but he's been excellent. Here is Urshela. Well, you can see I'm playing straight basic. No advanced rules at all. Straight basic. Roll the die. Chart tells me what to do. And that is a 5 on Giovanni Urshela. And that is going to be a double over first base. So Urshela goes to second. That's Urshela's second hit of the game. Here is Mike Tauchman. Still one out here in the bottom of the ninth. 55, that is an 8, and that's going to be a fly out to third base. Pop out, actually. Pop out to third for out number 2. And the last chance for the Yankees will be Brett Gardner. That is a 55. That is going to be an 8, and that is a pop fly ball again to third base. And coming under that will be Alex Bregman. He puts out his glove, blop, and the ball falls into it, and that is the game. As the Astros have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 home runs in this game off of Yankee pitching, and they win this game 9-4. 7 home runs off of Yankee pitching. Incredibly realistic result. Yeah, they were using the trash cans were definitely being used as well as the buzzers, I heard. All Astros runs off of homies. Yep. Well, what did I learn from playing this first game? Pretty much compared to the others so far. The game is automated. It's automated. It really isn't. There really is nothing you can do. I mean, you can call for if I go for like I said, I got this big ass book they sent me. I could have done grade reduction. I didn't use it. Or grade advancement. I didn't do the optional fielding ratings or the scores or the optional scores rule. There were no sacrifice bunts. I didn't do a sacrifice or a hit or an intentional walk. I just pretty much played it as basic as I possibly could. It's pretty much automated. It really is an automated game. You just roll the dice and the chart tells you what happens, and that's it. The only strategy you really do is setting up the lineup, maybe calling for a steal or a sacrifice bunt, because there is no automation for that. As you know, in like inside pitch, I roll a strat die. All right. The strat die in inside pitch tells me what I can do. All right. If I want to, or of course, if I want to use it hard and fast, I'll just do what the strat die tells me to do. And maybe one of these games, I might do a strat die game, an inside pitch, where whatever the strat die tells me to do hard and fast, I'll go ahead and do it and see what happens. That's what David Baseball Demos does. In Payoff Pitch, there is actually an automatic steal or auto sacrifice if you want to use it, because of the grades, the jump ratings and the sacrifice ratings on the players. The basic game is strict basic. Like I said, it really is automated. It's not boring. No, I'm not going to say it's boring. It's relaxing in a way. I don't really have to worry about, anything extra charts or anything. Whatever the chart says to do is what the chart says to do. I don't have to go ahead and pull a fast action card to see how the hit goes for Payoff Pitch. Or I don't have to utilize the base running routine and inside pitch to see if a runner advances. The chart automatically tells me. For runners on first, second, and all that. If the infield is deep. Now, you can call for like infield deep or infield in with a runner on third. There's different, fast and slow base running ratings. There's fielding 1, fielding 2, fielding 3, that kind of thing. Basic is basic. It's simpler than strat. You just got to make sure I'm on the right chart. That's all. Really got to do it. Got to make sure I'm on the right chart. But then again, if I'm not on the right chart and I notice it, I can go ahead and just flip to the chart, and that's it. Like, I'll tell you the truth. There was a runner on first base. There was a runner on second base, and I was still looking at the runner on first base chart. When I noticed that the chart told me runner on second goes to third, I said, oh, okay, wait a minute. So I ran to the runner on second base chart and went to that. You know, it's completely chart driven. Now, the master game, I've already not tried out. I've done practice with it. I've done practice with the master game. Just went ahead, took the master boards, took a team and just rolled dice and to see, just to roll dice and follow the dice, see what happens on the master charts and all that, the fielding chart, the pitcher grade chart. The master game gives you a lot more to deal with. Yes, I hear people tell me it's clunky. It is slightly clunky, but once I think I might actually have more fun with the master game than I will with the basic game, because the master game gives me a lot more options. But I was thinking that if I was to do an APBA season, I would use basic with advanced rules for an APBA for the regular season, and use the master game for the playoffs. That would be different. I mean, something like that. I mean, if I was to do an APBA season. The cards, the new cards they use are very easy to read. I have no problem reading the print. The stats are nicely put in here. They have all the fielding information, all the masters, all the master ratings, that kind of thing. The card quality is, pretty regular card quality. Kind of like the same, a little bit thinner than Inside Pitch. Inside Pitch's card quality is just a little bit thicker. And of course, nothing beats Payoff Pitch's card quality. Payoff Pitch has the best card quality of any game that's out there. If you were to combine Payoff Pitch's card quality with a few of its abilities and you combine it with Inside Pitch, you would have the best game available. Stratomatic, APBA, Fall Classic, nah. And Fall Classic, I've had people told me to take a look at it. Not interested. Not interested. Fall Classic to me is like a 50-50 rule. Is 50-50 pretty much. You roll on the batter card. You roll on the batter card first. Now, of course, you roll on the batter card with APBA. Why do I have a little issue with APBA? Because pitching is abstracted. At least in the basic game, pitching is abstracted. In the master game, the ratings actually come into play. In the master game, they actually come into play in the master game for pitching. They actually come into play, all right, in the master game. So, it can make a difference in the ratings for the master. But in basic, it's either A, B, C, or D. Now, I know the Merino boards are kind of like a hybrid between the master and the basic. Looking forward to taking a look at those. I'll see what I think I like about them. A lot of people swear by the Merino boards. A lot of people say APBA should create another version of the game. You have basic, you have master. They say you should have an advanced, which is pretty much the Merino board version. I don't know. The one thing I do like about this, though, it plays very fast. All right. Roll a die. Check chart. That's what happens. Okay. Next batter. Roll a die. Check chart. Next batter. Roll a die. Check chart. Next batter. Done. So you don't have to worry about, okay, so let's see. We have a ground ball to second base. The base runner's rating on first is a 3. It is a grounder. It's a grounder to third. His pivot rating, you know what I mean? There is a little bit of a difference. There is definitely a big difference between when the charts just pretty much tell you everything. Stratomatic does that too. Stratomatic also pretty much the cards tell you what to do, unless, of course, it's a range play or an error play. Here's the one thing about Stratomatic. Stratomatic is pretty much the only game where you can have a range and an error chart, and range and an error on the same play. If you notice, when you play inside pitch and a defense check comes up, it's either a range play or error. On inside pitch, it's either a range play or an error on a grounder or error on a throw. There is no range and or error. Stratomatic allows that. Stratomatic, you can have a guy make a range play. He can make the play, but he can still commit an error. That doesn't happen in inside pitch or payoff pitch. It's either a range play or an error play. And of course, in APBA, all right, an error only occurs if the batter card says there's one and the fielding rating allows it. A little bit abstract, a little bit. We're pretty much okay. So just because DJ LeMahieu is batting, and on, let's say, for instance, on this chart, on bases empty chart, all right, fielding one, let's say fielding one, and an 18, 19, or 20. So here on a 53, let's say DJ LeMahieu rolls a 53, and that is a 19. A 19 on a bases empty is always going to be a first on an error, unless it's 2 outs. But if it's 1 out or no outs or 1 out, DJ LeMahieu, this 19 will always be an error on the fielding on the other team, no matter how good their fielders are. So if I go ahead and I send and LeMahieu hits a ball, and that error is to third base, so I could have friggin' Brooks Robinson over there, who rarely made errors at third. Okay, it's an error on Robinson no matter what. He never gets a chance to make a play. At least in payoff pitch and an inside pitch, they have a chance. Inside payoff pitch, however, uses the ballpark to decide whether a range play is made or an error is made. That's a little bit off key for me, just a little bit. The ballpark really should have no effect on an error, on a player's range. It's the same damn field. It's the same field you play on, same size diamond, same difference, no difference. The ballpark can have effect on flight, like a home runs on something like that. Inside pitch, however, the fielder's rating does come into play on every range or error check. It's the fielder that decides it. Stratomatic, it's the fielder that decides it. Payoff pitch, the ballpark decides. So, that's another thing about payoff pitch. It's a little bit iffy that the ballpark decides how good a fielder is at the position. But an inside pitch, of course, your range play, your range, or your error check, you can have an error rating of 0. So that means if I take a player from inside pitch, a fielder, who has an error rating of 0, which means he never made an error, and I take that and I put that into payoff pitch, and an error check comes up, and I check the ballpark, and the ballpark says he makes an error. That's just a little bit. I think really error checks should not be off the ballpark or the ballpark card. I know he does it, and it's different, of course, different ballparks. He could have an error rating of 1, and his error rating at like Three River Stadium would be 1 to 17. But a 1 at an error rating on, let's say, at Veteran Stadium is a 1 to 30. What's the difference? What's the difference between Veteran Stadium and Three Rivers? Same damn park. I don't know. I know I'm kind of ranting. I know. I apologize for the rant. But, I mean, there is no perfect game engine out there. There is no perfect game engine. Every game. Why do I like payoff pitch? Because of the smoothness of how it plays. Pitcher card, then batter card. 95% of every die roll, okay, in payoff pitch is the pitcher card and the batter card. Why do I like inside pitch? I like the colors of the cards, and I like the matrixing system that he uses for inside pitch. His system is actually to a point where I can actually create my own cards if necessary. And I've done that for some pitcher hitting cards for American League teams that didn't have a bat at all. I also like the base running system for payoff for inside pitch is wacky because it's automated. You really don't get a choice at all on the base running and inside pitch. But inside pitch, you have a lot of strategy availability, and it also moves very well. Do I like APBA so far after playing one game? Yes, I do. It plays very, very smoothly, but I need more options. So I know I'm going to have to at least play advanced, all right, and then I'm going to really have to try master game. I think I would get bored very quickly playing straight basic APBA all the way through. I don't know how APBA Brian does it. He plays straight APBA all the way through. Straight basic. With a little bit of the Merino boards. Maybe I need the Merino boards to take a look at it. But I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe sometimes you just want to play a quick game of baseball, set up APBA, and just go and roll, and that's it. Stratomatic, I played many years ago. I don't have a copy. I'm still planning on purchasing a copy of Stratomatic. I am waiting for them to remaster the 86 season. That's the only season I'll get from them. I won't buy those. And right now, Stratomatic is lousy with available cards and dice. I did look at History Maker Baseball, and I do like it, but it's not for me. History Maker Golf already is my play.com game that I use, History Maker Golf. History Maker Baseball, the mechanics are a little bit, I don't know. Plus, I can't tell with stats. And the History Maker Baseball charts are finite. There really is not enough plays in History Maker Baseball. So I'm not going to get that. It was on my list to look at before I decided to pick up Payoff Pitch first. But History Maker Baseball, I'm not interested. I'll watch it. I like watching it being played. I like watching it being played, but I'm not going to play it. Stratomatic, like I said, I don't like 50-50, but there is one thing I do like about Stratomatic. Their ratings are spot on, usually. Baseball Demos, David Baseball Demos, even he has a few issues with Stratomatic with some of its ratings, but even he will admit most of Stratomatic's ratings are right on the dot. If that Stratomatic rating says that player is that good at that position, he is that good at that position. Stratomatic also allows a little bit more base running options too, where you actually can choose if you want to make an advancement, where inside pitch doesn't allow you to do that. Payoff pitch, if you use the cards, does allow you to do that once in a while, but even the payoff pitch base running is automated. You really don't get to choose if a runner wants to go. I mean, I could say so. Okay, forget it's a single. Now I got to see who the runner on. The runner on second is on second. His running rating is a 7. The ball is at the center field. His arm rating is a 6. I'm going to send him to third. I mean, I could just use the coach's choice chart if I want to, but that's not how we designed the game, really. But yeah, not enough rare plays. I think inside pitch needs a few extra rare plays. The rare plays that they have on their chart's a good amount. I mean, it's 36 rare plays, but I think you could create more. APBA Baseball, though, they have every single season. So if you want to play, 1986, purchase it. You want to play 1901, purchase it. You want to play 1919, purchase it. Want to play 1990, purchase it. APBA has every single season available. Plus, their cards are made in-house, so they'll never run out of inventory. And if I was to get APBA, I would try to get every season. And I've already figured out now. Another problem with APBA: they are expensive. The basic game and the master game costs about $65 with the shipping. To purchase every single season and I already actually figured this out, to purchase every single season from APBA from 1901 to 2019, including the extra cards, because you're going to want to get those. $9,000. $9,000. Some of the seasons are cheap. The early seasons are cheap. Some are like $36, $42, $48. But after 1980 something, every season's like $75. And then you got to add an extra $25 or $35 for the extra cards, which if you don't get the extra cards is ridiculous. You want those players. You got to have those players if you're going to do a replay. You need those cards. Some of the cards from the past now have extra players, and the ones that they're remastering now are including extra players in there, and they're just taking away the extra player cards. For instance, when 1986 first came out, it was just 30 players per team. They remastered 86, and they no longer sell the extra cards for 86 on the way, because now you will get every player. $9,000 to get every single APBA season. If one of you guys want to send me a $9,000 check, I'll play any game you want from any season you want. Just let me know. I'll get them all. I'll store them and I'll put them away and I'll play. And I'm still thinking of doing it myself. It would probably take me about 1.5 years to get all of them. And I'm not done with Inside Pitch yet. I've now finally reached the 2000s. So now I got to get from, $9K. Now I got to get from 2007 all the way to 2019 now for Inside Pitch. Those are the only season now. The only season I'm missing now from Inside Pitch is the modern seasons, which I'm going to start on Monday. I love Inside Pitch. Inside Pitch is a blast to play, especially now that I got the base running rules in hand. And you guys watched me play Inside Pitch, and you know I've been getting a lot better with it and a lot faster. Yeah, $9,000 for every single to purchase every season. Now, if I was to go to APBA and say, okay, I'm going to get every season of yours in one shot, can you give me a discount? I'm pretty sure they would. But, So I do like APBA. I do like it. I need more options than just straight basic. I got to have more options. Just rolling. And let's see, just rolling. And the pitcher card doesn't mean anything except for modifiers. 46. Let's see, 46. That is a 13. It's a strikeout. Next batter. 66. It's a 7. Oh, Zach Britton hit a single to right. How about that? Next up, Voigt. 23. 12. That's a 23. That's a double play. Inning over. Next. See, I understand it. I know it's a big box to hold all those cards, right? But do I like APBA? Yes, I do. And I'll continue to I'll have more test games coming up, probably using the same teams. Or maybe let's give Washington and the Cardinals a try. We'll see. All right, it's late. Time to let you guys go. I didn't expect to go this late. Thank you all for joining me for a little test game and a rant. Bears Den 007, Ray Price, Bob B, Philip Reynolds, Steeler Fan 1933, Daniel Patani, Michael Peterson. Thank you all for joining me. Lucas McCain, thank you all. Glad you guys joined me there. Remember, I got Inside Pitch early in the morning. It will be the Orioles and the Dodgers continuing the 1977 one and gone. Stay safe, healthy, smart, and strong. Have a good night, everybody. See you later.